As a child, we all long for a hero. As a society as a whole, we search for that leader that can be our hero. But as we mature and as we grow, it dawned on us that the hero is inside every one of us. And in the world's social media, we all start at zero. And slowly we search deep within ourselves to find who we are. And we have that moment of truth where we embrace that the hero that we've been searching for has been there all along. It is living deep inside of every one of us. And we start embracing that journey and we become that hero that we search for.
All right, good morning. And thanks for coming to episode 16 of Zero to Hero. Today we are visiting with Coffee Cup Chuck Doyle, co-owner of Lumenus Technologies and host of First Cup KC. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Kevin Kwok and Chuck Doyle.
What's up,
Hey,
guys?
hey, what's up, Chuck? So
What's
good to
going
see
on, big guy?
Yep, good stuff. I know we've connected in the past, and you connected me to a networking group. I still need to find time to make my way out there, but this is awesome. I'm excited about the show. I know you have a very transformational story, and let's go ahead and kick it off. So, in a couple of sentences, Chuck, give me your elevator pitch, not about your company, but about you and who you are. Oh, looks like Chuck might be coming back on. Give us just a second. So I think he might be having some technical difficulties. So let's see here.
Oh no.
While we wait, hey Gino. So we're live, you and I. So
Let's do it.
Yep, let's wait for Chuck here. But looks like Chuck's jumping right back in. So hey, me and Gino fill up some time, but Chuck.
Bingo.
We got him
Bingo,
back.
we
All
got it
right,
working.
guys.
It
I was
happens.
like, that's what's up, man. We're back.
We're back. So, hey, that's the beauty of these live shows, right? It's completely authentic, it's transparent, it's live, right? And
It's live, baby.
and technology today, you never know. So, in a couple sentences, give me your elevator pitch, not about your business, but about you, Chuck.
So I love people. Uh, even when I was growing up, I had some sort of magnetic draw to other people. So whether it was a positive or negative thing, I always found myself attracted to other people. I think it was because of the service part of my being. I've always wanted to help other people in some sort of way, but starting out my earlier life, I was into trouble a lot. But found a way to turn that around, and uh, by reading a bunch of books and gaining a lot of knowledge on different perceptions of life, I was able to change the mindset a little bit and start growing. And so I've 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 managed to grow a small electrical lighting company. And like I told you before, I like helping people. So with me getting up early in the morning, every single morning, not having a lot of things to do that early in the morning, I kind of like created this this version of a positive figure. And kind of like you started out the episode this morning with the hero factor. So I kind of drug this hero outside of my heart, and I started um, the Coffee Cup Chuck personality. And hey, I wake everybody up now with different variety of cups. Each cup has an idea of something that we tend to forget about. So there are little reminders of what we should be thinking and what we should be doing in our life. From that business, the electrical lighting company that I started, I was able to also create other things like an investment group, and now I'm the host of a podcast called The First Cup KC. So I stay busy, but guess what, Kevin? I find that the more I service people, that the more I help people, the more I reach out and get to know and get to learn other people, the stronger I grow myself. So a lot of the things that I do for everyone else, I kind of like do it for myself as well. So it's kind of something to see that you go from one thing to actually bringing out that inside hero inside of you and actually being able to utilize it to help other people. And that's what I do.
That's awesome. Please tell me a little about your social media journey, because I see you are extremely active on LinkedIn. So, I mean, I can always get a hold of Chuck on LinkedIn. So, yep. So tell me a little about your social media journey and, how it all got started and why
And
you do. Yep.
so LinkedIn is a real powerful source of networking. A lot of people don't realize, man, when we were born pretty much individually, but we were born in one body. Uh, I like to think of that as Earth. So we're a bunch of cells running around this planet, and the cells that collide with each other kind of create a disease on this body. But the cells that unite, and they unite for good causes and good purposes, those are the things that are kind of like what would you call that? It's like that's what you use to heal the earth. And LinkedIn, I found that I can actually easily put my cups out and help people that are out there helping other people. We're created for service. You can't even really work and make money for yourself, Kevin, without servicing someone, because that's how you make your money. So when you think of it, the more you service, the more you help, the more you provide for other people, the more you get back in return. And I've just noticed the last couple of years of me doing this morning social media thing, getting up first thing in the morning when everyone else is sleeping,
Oh, we might have lost Chuck a little bit again. So let's see here.
so, there's Coffee Cup Chuck there telling you, hey, man, life ain't that bad. Get up and keep moving. You know what I'm saying? So I love the power of social media because you reach a lot of people that might not even know who you are,
Hmm.
and I feel that my services go a lot farther when I can help people that I don't even know. So yeah, I get up on LinkedIn. I'm also on Facebook. It's also on Instagram and TikTok. Like I said, the larger variety of people I can reach with even the smallest message that might be able to help somebody, uh, it means a lot. Let me give you an example. When I first started putting these cups out, I thought it was corny. I thought, who's gonna want to see a cup that's
Looks like Chuck might be having some connection issues. So yeah, and if you guys haven't checked out Chuck's show, it's pretty unique. So he does it every morning, and it's called First Cup, and it's pretty unique. So he has his cup, and it's always a different one every day. So when he hops back online, I wonder how many cups he has, right? Because it's all colors, different designs, different things like that. So yeah, let's see here. Let's see if I can get him to hop back on the stream. Give me 1 second. So the beauty of these shows is completely, we go live and it's really authentic. There's no production team. There's nothing like that. And really, like, you guys can do this for your business and, apply it into what you're doing on social media as well. So anyway, Chuck's back on.
What's up? What's up?
What's
Yeah,
up?
man. Um, it's just one of those things, man. Like I was saying before, you just to be able to get up and 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 drop some sort of thing that might be able to get somebody started in the day. Hey, man, that means a lot to me. I'm gonna give you an example. Before we got cut off, I was about to give you an example of when I first started putting these cups out. I thought it was corny. Um, I didn't see why someone would like seeing a brother sitting up there with a cup up to his face trying to tell him how to feel and what to do, the first thing in the morning. So I was a little discouraged in getting started, but something told me, hey man, you owe yourself, and you owe your son, you owe a lot of people that might need this push to get going. So just give it a shot and see what happens. And if it's something that you can get comfortable doing, why not do it? So I got started, and I started out with a bunch of cups. I mean, man, I went out and bought tons of cups, and I had my wife use her Cricut to put the images on the front of the cup. And after a while, it's too many cups. I don't have any place to put these cups. So my wife kind of like said, listen here, do me a favor. Why don't you just allow me to put two images on each cup, and two images on each cup. And when you put those images on the cups, we will just use them. One day it'll be one side of the cup, the next day it'll be the opposite side of the cup, and we can get 5 cups that'll give you 2 weeks of illustrations to run. And I'm like, let's do it. So for the last year and I'll say the last year, that's what we've been doing. But I started those cups, Kevin, and when about 2 weeks into doing the cups, I get an inbox from somebody that I hadn't really heard from in a while, and I didn't even realize that they were following. You don't understand that just because you don't get likes or you don't get anybody that's interacting with your post, that people are not looking or they're not listening. So this person reaches out and they said, look, man, I was having a very rough time last week, and I read something that you posted, and man, that changed everything. You literally changed the whole process of my day, which changed the whole process in the course of my week. And I just want to reach out to you and say, dude, I think you own to something. Keep doing what you're doing because I like it, and it's helping people because it helped me. So those things like that, Kevin, those are the things that help keep you going in the direction that you start off in, and that led to more compliments and more people following. And now it's like, as soon as I post on LinkedIn, I can see the expressions just right off the top. You got 100 expressions already, within like 2 minutes of being posted. So it's a good feeling.
That's awesome. And I think a lot of people forget that, right? When they start this social media journey, right? We live in a society where we just want instant gratification from everything, right? We don't want to wait in line for food. We want it right out, right now. We have fast passes at Disney World, so you can ride all the rides. We just don't like to wait, because we got these handy devices, we get bored so easily because we have this for entertainment, and we just forget what it means to wait. And social media takes time, and people forget that. It takes consistency. And I think Chuck nailed it on the head. Even for me, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been on my social media journey during MySpace days all the way till now. And people forget. Just because you don't get any likes, you don't get any engagements, maybe no one's even on the show, there's someone listening. And oftentimes, those are the people that you can make a difference in. And we all have a story. Sometimes people are just behind the scenes, they're quiet, but it's not always about business, but it's about transformation. And sometimes you might say something that really hits someone home because they're struggling. They might be on their way to, I mean, I had messages where people just message me and say, hey, thanks for the post. I was actually on my way to, hurt myself or whatever, but because I saw one of your posts, it changed. I decided to keep on going. And people forget about those things. And oftentimes we see on social media so much that people are sharing their highlight reel. But at the same time, there's also a lot of good people out there, and they're really like Chuck himself. He's just putting a message out there to help, to allow people to connect, to inspire. And man, I know, Chuck, you have a pretty strong story. So definitely the audience out there, connect with Chuck. And next question. Every superhero has a defining moment. What's yours?
My biggest defining moment is when I started my business. It was just an idea at first. I knew I wanted to do it. I went to school for business and science marketing, and got a degree in that. And then I went to electrical school. So I knew what I wanted to do, but you're scared. You have this fear of stepping past what everyone else, how I want to say it. You have this fear of stepping past what everyone else expects you to do, and you stay within that boundary. And I think that's what I was doing, working and working and working all of those days, weeks, months, and years for someone else. I knew I wanted to own my own operation. I wanted to do my own thing, but the fear. So that was my kryptonite. And it was a big hold on me because, man, years ago, I started a little detail shop and it failed. And when it failed, I thought, hey, I don't have what it takes. I just don't have what it takes. So, telling yourself these things over the years, it dampers you and your belief system on what you believe you can actually do. So the defining moment, though, was when my previous employer, the last person I ever worked for, now keep in mind, this was just an idea. I was just thinking about going out and starting my own business. I just didn't know what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it, but I knew I wanted to do it. But I say about 3 or 4 weeks before this incident happened, I kind of like put it in the ears of a couple of people. Man, I think I just want to leave and start my own business. I just want to just give it a shot. But like I said, the fear kept holding me. Well, my employer pulled up on me on one of my job sites. Kevin, he pulls up like, man, so smooth with it. He pulls up, he drops his window, he never gets out of the car. He looks at me, and I walk over to him, and I'm a pleasant guy. I'm happy. I love people, so I'm all jittery. Hey, what's up, boss? I see you at the job site, man. Is everything okay? And he's like, yeah, it's okay. I just got a question. And he's like, I've heard from the grapevine that you're thinking about leaving the company and starting your own business like mine's. And I didn't want to lie. I didn't want to lie or I definitely didn't want to put myself in a position of where I lost my job. So I basically, told him, I was like, look, boss, I'm African American. So it ain't really easy to do something like that. I don't have good credit. I have a bad previous history, a criminal record, and it takes a lot of influence to get something like that off the ground. So, I mean, I don't know. And he looks at me, looks straight ahead out his windshield, and he looks back at me, and he just simply says, man, I don't know what I was thinking about. I'm sorry I even bothered you with this.
window up, Kevin, and he drove off. And I stood there for a minute and I was like,
Oh, we're breaking up again.
so I'm like, I said all that, and for me to resonate the words that I had just said into my new way of thinking, it just triggered. You know what? You're the one who's holding you back. You are. That man is living out his dream through your hard work, and he doesn't make you stay. It is your decision to do what all the things you want to do. You're doing it. So if he has a dream, you're the one who's helping him build his dream. Go build your own dream. Go do what you want to do, and you can do it. But stop using the words that you were saying. I stopped, Kevin, and I got strong. And when I say I got strong, I gained the strength of He-Man. I gained the strength of the Hulk. I gained the strength of Superman, Batman, and all of them combined. And I said, you know what? I can do this. I can be my own superhero. And I did it. Everything that I doubted, I stopped doubting it, and I just simply believed in it. And from that point, Kevin, every single thing I touch now, no matter even if I fail for a little bit, I know I have the belief to continue to keep going because it will eventually become what I want it to be. So that's definitely the strongest point that I can put and use when it says that's my defining point. That was my defining moment when I found out it was me who was holding myself back.
And I think oftentimes we're the people that hold ourselves back because we have fears. We have lies that have been told to us, growing up. And we keep replaying those in our heads. There might be that teacher that told you can't. It might be a parent that told you this is how you need to be. And there comes a time, I think, in every adult human when you have to say, hey, we need to follow our heart and just listen and do what we feel is right. And Chuck, you're so right, because I feel most people give up before they ever see the end of the tunnel, because that's why there's so a small percentage that are successful, because they give up too soon, right? They don't wait it out, right? And that's the key, man. And it goes to my next question. As you're talking about, that day changed your life, right? The combination of, you name all these superheroes, the Hulk, Superman. So, to you, what are attributes that define a hero?
Uh, the power to lead, the power to have passion. You have to have passion to be a hero. You have to have leadership skills to be a hero. And one defining point about a leader is the leader goes in front of the pack instead of behind the pack. So you got to be definitely you have to be a strong leader, and you got to have passion at being that, because when you have passion behind anything you do, it's from the heart. So nothing, you can't lie when it's from the heart. So that's what I got with that. I know it's a short question, but man, that's to the blunt right there. That's right to the point. Uh, the
No, that's
biggest
good.
point about being. Go ahead.
Yeah. So while you brought up something that's unique, after, this is our 16th, I think, episode, and you mentioned something that no one's mentioned, right? Passion, right? To be that hero, one of the attributes you said is passion. I was just watching a late Kobe Bryant an interview, and he was just talking about, like, it wasn't the rings, it wasn't the championships. He said what he noticed is every great, every GOAT in every sport is because of the passion. That's what kept them going.
Yes.
And it wasn't for the money, it wasn't for the fame. And he said that's what separates the GOAT from, the players that are good. And that's a good
Yeah.
point you brought up. Yeah.
So sometimes, man, to elaborate a little bit on that and to go a little deep, sometimes passion is like that diamond. It got you just can't create passion just out of the thin air. Sometimes you got to go through the dark. You got to go through the pressure. You got to go through the heat. You got to go through all these different elements in order to create this desire to want to be or want to do something greater than what everybody expects of you. And I think mine goes back to the resilience of me having to tunnel my way back from the hole. A lot of people don't understand that we all have these crazy stories and these crazy lives that we come from. You see the personality behind the cup, but you don't see the journey that brought you to the cup. And a lot of people don't know that this man that's standing in front of you, he came from a rough life. Uh, I was into the gangs. I was into the crime.
It's like Chuck's reconnecting here. So, no, and I think Chuck brought up a good point, right? We all have this past, we all have our own story. And a lot of times, we just look at, we hear all the success stories, but we forget, hey, all these people are what we idolize or look up to. They have a past too. They have a story of getting there, right? And honestly, I think in today's society, we're more interested in the journey than the success stories, because if you pay attention, right, on social media, um, you'll see more engagement on people sharing their dirt or sharing their struggles, mental health, past negative events that happen versus just all the positive things, right? So we got Chuck back on here.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. Like to start back where I was at, man. A lot of people they see the cup and they don't see the journey behind it. And I just want to let everybody know that the guy that you're looking at, he came from a rough past. The past with the crime and the gangs and it got so deep, Kevin, that I was literally 14 years old when I caught a case that would send me to prison at the age of 15 years old. When you talk about being so young to where no one is even close to your age and you're in a place where people are 2 and 3 times your age, you kind of it's like Chuck was saying, you kind of
Like Chuck might be having some connection issues on this episode, and it happens, right? So, but yeah, so just recap. So yeah, Chuck, when he was 15, he got into a bad situation where he, ended up going to prison. So he should be hopping back on to tell the rest of his story. But he definitely has a story, right? He owns this, I think they do commercial electric. So he's an electrician, his company. But then Chuck has this whole story of how he got there, right? And while he was in prison, he was like reading all these books and how to better himself, right? And strive to become better. All right, there's Chuck. So
yeah. So you're talking about a kid that had that was actually pretty much raised around a bunch of men twice his age. And you would think that you should be fearful for that kid because he's so young in that environment. But at the same time, that young kid, instead of gaining a bunch of predators or bullies, he gained a lot of fathers. So I had a lot of people in there giving me a lot of knowledge, telling me what to do and what not to do, which was frustrating at times. But at the same time, I wasn't supposed to be in that type of place, and those people knew that there was something inside of me that I had to get out, and I had to utilize the right force in order to do it. And that's what my cup was about this morning, the force. So I think that you you look and you see life, you look at your life like it's so bad and it's so crazy and you can't really do nothing about it. But I just say, if you change the way you think about things, you change the way you live. So
That's good. So, Chuck, last question of the day. If you had to pick one superhero, you name a few, which one relates best to your journey and your story?
I would have to say the Hulk.
Okay.
And why I say
And
the
why?
Hulk is the why I say the Hulk is because Hulk is ruled by a negative and he's ruled by a positive force. Uh, when he when he when his negative force is activated, he becomes this green, angry, large figure. And when the Hulk found a way to control his anger, he finally was able to realize that use his strength and that force, that powerful force that transformed him into this monster. He could actually use it to do something way greater than the just past. Way greater than the anger, And I think during my life, I let the angry stuff rule me all the time. Uh, I would get so upset about things. It was a point in my life where I would get so upset at times that I would literally pass out. And that was because there was no anger control. I just let everything outside of me rule me. And when I started realizing that anger is something that you can really utilize, you don't have to utilize it in such a negative way. You can take your anger and you can take the energy that you utilize from it. Because remember, anger is just an emotion, and emotions, there's tons of emotions. It's just how you utilize that emotion. And I started using the anger, and instead of using my anger to be more vindictive, I use my anger as a development tool. And instead of like that day when my boss told me, he didn't know what I was thinking about. Hey man, you're not worthy. You can't do these type of things. I don't know what I was thinking about. Instead of me getting angry and upset and mad at an outside force, I used it for myself, Kevin, and I transformed that into something that can actually benefit me instead of hinder me. So, Incredible Hulk strong, baby. Hulk smash.
Hope smash. Love it. So, man, that's awesome, Chuck. And it's so true because sometimes, being an entrepreneur, we deal with things that, can frustrate us and put us in stress. And it's really how you channel that. Do you bring it back home to your family? Do you bring it to the people you're around? It's all about controlling, your emotions and being able to just stay chill, right? But then there's that time when you have to also hope smash, right? In order to get things done. And I love that. And you know, tell the audience about your daily cup a little more. Tell them what it's about, how they can get connected with it, and also how they can follow you, Chuck.
Okay, so I post a cup every Monday through Friday. I try to get those cups out between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. I post those cups on pretty much all the social medias. You can just go to the First Cup KC. That's all spelled out, and that's on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Well, not really on YouTube. I just got the Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook right now. I post videos to TikTok, and I also post. I know you know about the First Cup KC podcast, right? So that
Yep.
podcast is aired every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. And there might be a couple other ones out there. I got to check with my producers because they do a good job of getting me out there. but follow these cups, because like I said, I learn a lot from these cups when I put them out myself. And just for me writing, in which they're not coming from me, they're coming from that higher source, that's that positive higher source. And these messages are, uh they help. And if I can help anyone out, man, please allow me the opportunity and the chance to. So follow the First Cup KC Monday through Friday on all social media platforms, and be sure to like, follow, and share, um, and subscribe to that YouTube channel at the First Cup KC. I have great interviews that come out. I love interviewing special people in the community, people who have overcame things, people who have overcame things that, I'm gonna give you an example, a quick example, because I know we got to go. But a couple of weeks ago, I interviewed a couple that has a child named Riker, and Riker he's 11 months old, and he has to have surgery here in another month because he was born with his bladder on the outside of his body. And this kid is just the most wonderful kid, so full of energy and so full of life. And these guys need help because, like I said, that deductible smashed on them and restarted over again after the first surgery. So I put stories like this out there to kind of help, and it does help. Does go a lot farther. So follow that Riker's Journey on the social medias, Riker's Journey, and even Google it and just check that story out. It's crazy, but I love highlighting stories like that. So please subscribe to that YouTube channel, like and share it, because if you can help someone else through someone else, please, man, help spread the word.
No, that's great. And yeah, you heard Chuck. At the end of the day, it's all about, helping others. That's why we're on this world for, man. And I truly believe that, if you can make a person better, there's a gratification that you can't get from fame or money or success. It's all about helping out. So, hey,
Who needs
appreciate you
money,
all.
man?
Yep. Appreciate you all. And sometimes giving is about giving of your time too, right? And just
Yeah.
however you can help, right? And I remember there was a time in my life where, uh, I was living paycheck to paycheck, not doing the best, but I was able to give my time and my talents. And sometimes that's where it starts, I remember doing a lot of things for free just to help people out, even when I was struggling myself. And it all comes back, at some point. But that's what it's all about. It's just about, hey, how can we help and make the world a better place? So we appreciate you. I know it's during a lot of folks' lunchtime, and hey, this will be on YouTube. It'll be on the J29 channels. It'll be on my LinkedIn and other social media. Zero to Hero. Hop back on, watch it, share it. Appreciate your time, Chuck.
You got it, man. I appreciate you having me on.